Today, we're going to talk about apologizing and conflict. Us as human beings, we're born kind of like a blank canvas. There is trauma that is passed through genetically for sure. But in terms of understanding human behavior, we need to understand that when we're born, we're pretty much a brand new software waiting to be programmed. And the experiences we have in our lives are what program us. The feelings that we feel in those experiences play the biggest roles. Even if someone was to say something to you, that saying something to you would make you feel a certain way, which would program you to believe in anything that you do regarding that situation. So we're brought up in ways that, unfortunately, still in today's world is the good behavior reward, bad behavior punishment, parenting style technique. And that parenting style technique takes us down many different places of shaping our reality, what we believe about ourselves and the world. There are many experiences that we have where we understand that, oh, if I'm doing something that's not good and that's not okay, that's really bad, then I'm unsafe. So if I express my anger, if I break the rules, no matter what it is, there's a lot of unsafety. I feel that rejection. The rejection itself is a lot of emotional distress without the resolution. And there are many different ways that I learn that I can be safe. How do I do that? Well, one of the ways is that I take on what is happening to me so I can do it to myself. So I always use the example of the cup on the side. If I leave the cup on the side and it's an empty cup, my caregiver will come in and shout at me, "Why have you left the cup on the side?" I'm like, it's okay. It's really unsafe and really not good. So what I would do in that moment is I really need to keep track of myself, make sure that I'm behaving correctly. Another thing that I do in a way to learn that I'm unsafe and I need to be safe is I'll follow the rules. I'll keep myself in check. Okay, cool. How do I do either of these? Well, the way that I make sure that I'm following the rules by keeping the cup on the side is by doing the same thing that's happened to me. So I will say to myself, go put the cup on the side. Okay. How else can I make sure that I'm keeping myself in check? Well, every time that something happens, I get told that I need to apologize for it. Okay, what if it's not my fault? No, I still need to apologize for it. Every unsafety that I felt, every time that I made Dad angry, I was told to go and apologize to him. No matter what it is, I made a mistake, but that making a mistake made him feel bad and I need to go apologize for him. And when I do apologize for it, I'm also realizing that, oh, that's actually calming the aggression down. That's also started the path to safety again. And there have been times where I've gone, I don't want to apologize. I don't feel, oh, that was really unsafe. I'm not doing that again because that made it worse. So what I'm also learning is that apologies makes it safe. And I hate conflict. I cannot handle conflict. So not only am I learning that conflict is really unsafe and really scary, I'm also learning that apologizing actually brings me a lot of safety. So I take that on board. I apologize more and more and more and more. I go, oh, this is great. Every time I've apologized, yeah, things are okay. To the degree where my version of apology that I've learned isn't actually apology. My version of apology that I've learned is actually just a way of staying safe. An apology starts with saying sorry. It then continues on past the conversation. It's an acknowledgement of wrongdoing with a follow-up of making sure that you won't do that again. That is an apology, but that is not what we've learned by saying sorry. I'm saying sorry as a way to keep me safe. I'm saying sorry because it calms people down. Now, if I've done this over and over again and it's worked, which it has, I'm just going to keep saying sorry. And that another way that I've learned what an apology is by the sorry that I say is me putting myself down so I can essentially be safe. So by putting myself down more and more, it makes the other person calm down. So I'm kind of like, all right, I'm sorry. That's the version that we've learned. And again, that is what keeps me safe. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. And as an adult, I have experiences where I could even perceive that conflict could arise. So it doesn't even necessarily need to be a conflict. I can have a conversation with someone and I can anticipate that because of what I'm going to say, it might make them sad, might make them upset, might make them angry. That perception in me is enough for me to go through the fear of conflict, which jumps me straight to my default way of keeping myself safe, which is apologizing. So at the extreme level of it, someone else doesn't even need to say anything. It's just an unconscious perception that I have of the situation based on what I might need to say or what is coming up. And I'm just going straight into apology to make sure that I'm trying to keep this as safe as possible. Now, that's where it gets us to the place where I'm just apologizing for existing, because it's all my own perception. If I'm next to someone and we're having a conversation and I need to say to them something that I perceive that could cause them to be upset, annoyed, angry, frustrated, or just annoyed. Doesn't even need to be chaotic. That's enough for my wounds to trigger and for me to go, oh, I need to find myself instant safety here. So you leave it over apologize, which is really a huge self-abandonment. That same scenario can turn out in a different way. So let's say I have this wound. I'm terrified of conflict and I perceive something. I'm having a conversation with someone. I'm having a conversation with my brother and he said, hey, can you stay an extra half an hour? And I can't, because if I do, then I'm going to miss things at home and I really, really can't. And it might make him upset. It might genuinely, he might go, oh, upset. So in that scenario, hey, can you stay an extra half an hour? That instantly triggers me. I've gone straight to, if I say no, that's going to upset him. And if I upset him, that's unsafe. Therefore, what do I need to do to stay safe? Oh, I know, I'm going to apologize. So I might go to I'm really, really sorry. No, I really, really can't. I'm so sorry. You know what? I might even get to a stage where I abandon myself so much where I'll stay an extra half. Oh, you know what? All right, fine. I'll make it work. Let's do it. I'll stay for an extra half an hour. I'll stay. That is a huge self-abandonment. But let's say in the moments where it's out of my hands and I can't because I've got to pick up my son or something. It's like, oh, I'm really, really sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll do something. And then I feel like I owe him something. I feel like I owe him something because I upset him. That's one outcome. But at the same time, another outcome could be that he says, can you stay an extra half hour? I go, no, I've got plans. And then he's annoyed. Oh, really? Yeah, really. Now, the reason I brought those two outcomes there is to shed light on the different versions of the person who has to let the other person down. The difference is from birth, one person has had the experiences where they've had to use apologies as a way of staying safe. Another person didn't have that experience. And it's really important to know that, because what we do is we go in this spiral of just beating ourselves up. Why do I do this? Why am I like this? And that is the opposite way of changing a behavior. Every behavior is a pattern. The pattern is a habit. The way you change that habit or pattern is to disrupt it. It's a pattern interrupt. Now, there are ways you can do that. The interrupt is beating yourself up, or it's understanding and changing it from a place of acceptance and love. If you're beating yourself up, the stress is still there. You're still doing it. It's still happening. The goal isn't to just change the behavior. The goal is to resolve what is creating the behavior. And by beating yourself up, you will not resolve what is creating the behavior.